Hi everyone, Stepan here with another training game. I'm gonna go d5. Last game I won, but I did mess up the end game unnecessarily. It could have been much simpler, but I actually entered a drawn rook endgame, and then when I thought my opponent was going to draw, it was winning for me, and I did win. I found the winning plan, but I didn't understand it. Okay, my opponent is playing the Moscow. So, knight d7. Rook c1. I'm pretty sure bishop d3 is the main move. I'm trying to remember if I know rook c1 or not. I don't think I do. So let's try to figure out the idea. The idea could be pressure on the c7 square. So if takes with the c pawn, knight b5, but I'm gonna take with the e pawn if takes. So g6 seems okay. If bishop d3, I still take. Okay, I'm gonna go g6. Seems to be the most natural move. I don't think rook c1 changes things that much. In fact, it could be a loss of tempo, but I'm not sure, considering that I want to go e5. Okay, e4 straight away. So now takes. Now e3 and e4 is weird, because I can play d4, knight e4, bishop b4. He has to go king e2, then I go queen f4. This is a weird combination of moves. So d4, knight e4, bishop b4, king e2 is usually the move. If he plays knight fd2, I take on d4. If he plays knight ed2, I play castles. Okay, I'm gonna take, because I usually, when they don't play rook c1 but they play e4, you do this. So why would it be wrong here? King e2 is the move without rook c1. Okay, this isn't good for white. This cannot be good for white. I just won a couple of tempi for nothing. So should I go e5 straight away, or should I castle? I think I castle first. He plays bishop e2, I go e5, and then I'm threatening nothing really, except for bishop g4. So castles and e5 seems okay. Can I go e5 if he goes a3? That's the question. Okay. Bishop e2 is okay. So e5, d5, knight e5, knight e5, queen e5. Castles. I mean, I just have the bishop pair there, so this, I feel like this has to be correct. I have the bishop pair for no attack, no compensation. I managed to play e5. Knight e4 cannot be played, that's why knight c3 is a bad move. Usually in these positions they go knight e4, but it doesn't work yet. Now with castles, I don't think I want to take on c3. Yeah. So knight e4 is coming, against which I can go queen f4. And then if g3 I can take. The question is, do I take or go rook e8? So takes, knight takes, rook e8, takes, queen takes, knight takes, knight f6, takes, knight e4, queen f4. I think I'm gonna take, because I don't want to be running into knight e4 and losing my pawn. This seems pretty okay. If knight e4, queen f4. I'm not sure if I want to go rook e8 or rook d8. If I go rook d8, my a rook is just bad. If I go rook e8, my rook is hanging after rook e1, but for the moment the knight is still pinned, so there is no rook e1. After knight e4 there is no rook e1. It's a symmetrical pawn structure with an open center where I have the bishop pair, so I think theoretically black should be slightly better, but okay. I'm not gonna think too much because queen f4 was what I wanted to do. Let's just double check. Queen f4, bishop d3. Threatening g3. And I go knight e5. Queen f4, bishop d3, knight e5, queen e5, and a pawn up. Okay, I'm going queen f4. I don't want to retreat. It seems okay. Okay. So now my idea was to go f5 against this, or c5. If I go rook e8, and he goes bishop d3, I mean, I could just go bishop c5. Where he has to go queen d3. Or, yeah, he has to go queen d3. So bishop c5, queen d3. I mean, I could go knight f6 there and just trade. No, then he takes on c5. Stupid. I don't want to go f5. It seems too risky. If I go c5, I block my bishop. So bishop c5, queen d3. I don't like that. If I go rook e8, he goes bishop d3. Ooh, then I go bishop c5. Rook e8. Wait, does the knight have a useful square? I don't think so. So rook e8. Bishop d3 seems forced. Or knight d2. No, knight d2 is bad. I take it. And the bishop on e2 is hanging. So rook e8, bishop d3, bishop c5. Yeah, that's I'm gonna do that. Wait, what am I thinking? Bishop c5. The knight on f3 defends the queen. Oh my god. I'm a moron. I've been thinking about bishop c5 all this time. And he just takes it. Idiot. I'm an idiot. He just takes it. What am I talking about? Oh, the knight on f3 defends the queen. He plays knight c5. Sometimes I'm an idiot. No, I don't like c5 because he has queen d6. Rook e4 I don't think works because of queen e4. Sorry, I'm getting messages. So if I go f5 and he goes g3, I can take the knight now that the knight is undefended, so he doesn't have g3 anymore. So the knight would have to move. The knight can only go to g3 and d2, but on d2 I can take it, so g3 seems to be the only square. And then if I want to, I can trade queens. But on f5 he can go knight f6. Winning my queen. What am I doing? What am I playing so badly? f5 wins my queen. I need to concentrate. Ugh. So if he doesn't have g3, he doesn't have a threat. So what about bishop f8, playing for bishop g7, strengthening the dark squares? So bishop f8, with the idea of bishop g7, seems strong. Okay, I'm gonna go bishop f8. I'm wasting too much time on idiotic ideas. I wanted to play f5 losing my queen, and I wanted to play bishop c5 losing my bishop. Stupid. I did give him rook e1 now, but I don't think he can play it. If rook e1, bishop g7, the queen has to go to d6 or e3. If queen d6, I trade and take on e1 and go knight f6. Or take on b2. f5 loses the queen. Why do I do that? Why does it take me so long to see simple stuff like knight f6? At least this time I almost blundered. Oh no, sorry, on bishop g7 he doesn't have queen d6 because I play rook takes e4. However, on bishop e4, queen e4, rook e1, no, on bishop e4 I play queen d6. Yeah, okay, he doesn't have queen d6. That I'm sure of. If bishop g7, he has to go queen e3. And that loses the b pawn. I take and bishop b2. So I think he has to play rook e1 here to give himself the option to go queen d6 on bishop g7. Can I then throw in c5? So rook e1 c5. Well, that's a strange move. Wanting to trade queens. I don't think I can decline, to be honest, because I don't want to lose a tempo. So queen d4, knight d4, bishop g7. The knight has to move again. And then I have knight c5. Okay, I'm gonna do that. He doesn't have rook e1 because I take and take on d4. And then I want to go knight c5 and bishop somewhere. This should be a better endgame for me with the two bishops, but and I have to say I'm relieved that we traded queens. Okay, knight c5, where does the bishop go? Not to e2 because of bishop c3, so either c2 or b1, and then I go bishop g4. Yeah, that seems okay. I'm gonna go knight c5. Again, if rook e1, I take and knight d3, so he has to move the bishop. Okay, now bishop g4, what can he do? I could also consider bishop c3, rook c3 and rook e2, but then he could have b4, so I don't really want to do that. If I go bishop g4, just developing, where does the knight go? I'm gonna go bishop g4. If he goes b4, I'm gonna take on f3. No, I'm not gonna take on f3. I'm gonna think of something. My bishop pair is really strong. I mean, okay. Now, if I don't take on f3, what do I do? So bishop f3, he plays gf3, getting the e4 square for the knight and chasing my knight away. But I can go knight d7, knight e5. I can go knight d7, knight e5 anyway. So knight d7, not trading my bishop. Wait, I could actually go knight e6 now. He has bishop e4. But I will have knight f4. Knight e6, bishop e4, knight f4. Threatening bishop c3. Okay, I'm gonna go knight e6. If he plays h3, I'm happy to ruin his pawn structure and get the f4 square for my knight. If I'm gonna take on f3, I want to have the f4 square. So if something like rook fd1 or rook fe1, then bishop f3, gf3, knight f4, threatening bishop c3, rook c3, and knight e2. I don't believe I almost played f5. And bishop c5. Yeah, I mean, I often assess positions incorrectly, but in this case, I think my assessment that black is better is correct. In fact, maybe black is significantly better, because I have the e-file. He doesn't have an easy way to challenge it. So wait, he wants to play for the d6 square. How does he defend against bishop f3, gf3, knight d4, threatening knight f3 and knight e2? He has to play king g2. So he plays king g2. And then what do I do? Yeah, okay, I'm getting the f4 square, but I'm not gonna go knight d4, allowing king g2. I'm gonna go knight f4. This knight is a perfect piece. Because it cannot be dislodged. Whatever he does, my knight is staying on f4 and his king isn't getting out. This needs to be a big strategic advantage, the fact that he cannot get the king out. Okay. Now, I want to challenge the d-file, so rook d8. If he goes knight d6, can I go rook e7? I think I can. I need to start playing quickly. So rook a d8, knight d6, rook e7. He doesn't have knight b7 because I take. He doesn't have knight f7 because I take. So that seems okay, but he's going to play c5, fixing that knight on the square. So what about something aggressive like rook e5? Okay, I'm gonna go rook a8. That's the most sensible move. I'm expecting knight d6, rook e7, c5, but then I'm gonna go bishop e5. And I think bishop e5 seems okay. If he gets this past d pawn, I think I can win the pawn, because I have knight e6 blocking the bishop and my king can go f8, e7. So I don't think he can take on d6 with the pawn. If he takes on d6 with the rook, My rook is already on the 7th rank. I did not expect this. Why didn't he play? Why didn't he play knight d6? Okay, I'm gonna go b6, saving my pawn, because I want to save my pawn. And if he goes knight back to e4, I could consider bishop e5 to simply prevent knight d6. On knight b7 I take and go either rook e7 or rook e2. I think rook e7 is way more sensible. In the end I'm gonna have bishop e5, and even h4 isn't going to allow him to get his king out. Okay. Now I think bishop e5 is a good move here, but I've been wrong before. I want to be preventing knight d6. I don't want to allow knight d6. And next I want to go king g7 to prevent knight f6. That's the only problematic square. Okay, c5. I think I can safely go king g7. If takes, rook c1 isn't playable, so I'm going king g7, safeguarding the g7 square. If knight d6, I take it, and I think I win the pawn. Because as I said, I have knight e6, and I don't think there's any way for him to get his bishop to defend the pawn, and if he doesn't, I'll go rook d7 and king f8 and king somewhere. King e7, covered by knight d6. Now I could have also considered rook d5, trying to double my rooks. If he takes cd5, the knight has to move probably to g3, then I take on c5. Why do I have a minute on the clock? Why did I almost lose the game in the opening? If I go f5 now, the knight has to go to d2 or to g3. I want to take away the e4 square from the knight. If he goes to g4, if he goes to d6, I'm going to take. Okay, and I just need to play a move. This is just dreadful. I'm pretty sure both endgames are really good for me. CD and Rook D. Rook D could be even better, because he's not covering the back rank. Okay. So if I just go Knight d5, how does he defend? He can go bishop a4, but I'm going to play b5. Okay, knight d5 works. I didn't see this. Why didn't I see this? Shouldn't have played knight d5. Knight d5 is such a bad move. I no longer know what I'm doing. I needed to prevent bishop a4. I just gave away the E file. I wanted to take the C file and I gave away the E file. He goes rook e2 or rook e1 and wins, I think. Maybe I have king f6. I want to go king f6 and knight f7. he doesn't have bishop d5 because I take on d6. I think he has to take the knight. If I play f4, I think it's over. Okay, yeah, it should be over. Let's defend. My next move is, okay, now I go f4. Oh no, wait, I can just win a pawn. Can I go rook c2? I'm gonna try rook c2. If he trades a pair of rooks, I win. So he cannot do that. He has to go either king e3 or king e1. Now I can go king e6, and he no longer has this check. So if I drop my rook to c6, that's it. Also on king f4, I'm going to check him away. And he will no longer have... Ah, he has rook e1 now, check. Rook e1 check. I should not have done this. What do I do? I mean, I can start grabbing pawns. Can I start grabbing pawns? I think I can. I'm just gonna grab a pawn. I mean, he has rook e1 check, but that's okay, because he doesn't have rook e3 or rook e7. Okay, he may have had rook c7, rook c3 there. So I'm gonna go rook c2. Don't want to grab another pawn. I want a safe endgame. I don't get this move. So what happens on rook c6? Rook f8 check, king g7. Okay, I have to go rook c6. My dog just came, if you can hear the noises. My pawn on f4 is very useful, preventing his rook from going to e3. Knight d5 was still a pretty bad blunder. At least now he's under a minute too. Which rook do I take with? I don't think it matters much. I'm threatening rook g2 check. I don't want to be pushed to the back rank. So I think he has to take the pawn. Why did I do this? He just trades into an equal endgame. I cannot take the pawn on f3. Ugh. Idiot. Absolute idiot. Why did I spilled a glass of water now. Why did I mess up this endgame? He cannot take on a5. That much is certain, because I queen. I think I have to go to c7 or I could be even worse. Just to go back. Ah, okay. It's gonna end up in a draw. Unless I find some tricks. Do I have any tricks? I could actually have rook f1. I'm gonna try rook f1. I don't have to take the pawn. Because on king a4 or king b4 I just push my pawn, and on rook b1 I go rook a1. On rook b8 I go rook a1. Maybe this does work. My feet are completely wet. I spilled half a liter of water on my, or half that on my feet. Yeah, I'm winning. I don't believe this. I'm actually winning. This is incredible. I found a trick in the endgame. I never find tricks in the endgame. Yes. Yes. Okay. I played the last, I don't know how many moves with increment. This is... Okay, the guy who messaged me wrote in chat, "Hi, I'm chess coach from Poland. I show your videos to my students and they are huge fans of yours. Can we play some games? I want to make them happy." Okay, and then Chess Porn Idiot said, "What a wonderful game." Ooh, I don't believe I won this. Yes, I always mess up in time trouble. So let's see this move, rook c1. Rook c1, 150 games. Okay, g6 is correct. And then e4. I don't know this. This was weird. Yeah, this is the refutation to the immediate e4. I should have played e5 immediately, but this is okay. Takes is correct. Queen f4 is okay. Rook e8 is best. Ah, c5 did work. I played bishop f8. Wait, on c5, what if queen d6? Ah yeah, we said queen d6 doesn't work. Okay, but he plays queen e3. f5? Why is this good? Okay, the pawn is hanging and you cannot defend. If you go king f2, yeah, then it just doubles. Okay, I didn't see that the e3 pawn was going to be weak. But this is a better endgame for me. It's much better. Knight c5 is correct. Bishop g4 is correct. Knight e6 is correct. Bishop f3 is okay. Not the best, but okay. Knight f4, not the best, but okay. Rook d8 is good. b6 is good. And bishop e5 is inaccurate. I was winning with f5. Or rook takes d1. Rook takes d1, f5. Wait, I don't get this line. Rook takes, f5, knight d6, rook e2. So I just want to go... Wait. What do I do if he just plays something random? I just win the f2 pawn. I didn't see that. I played bishop e5. Okay. Yeah, knight d5 is idiotic because of b5. I should have just doubled and won the pawn that way. Oh, no. Knight b4, he plays b c6 and queens. Wait a minute. If I take the bishop, yeah, he queens, so I would have to take the pawn. And then bishop a6. Wow. So I was supposed to play rook e6, and then he takes, and then I take. And this is still better for me. I have to be honest, I don't understand f4, but okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he can save the pawn. Yeah. But at this point I really didn't have... I had 13 seconds on the clock. So I just couldn't calculate. Now this is equal. Let's hope I didn't blunder anywhere. Okay, knight b7 is better than knight f7. Why? What about bishop d5? Bishop d5, rook d6, bishop b7. Ah, I can go rook e6 check and rook b7. I didn't see rook e6 check, so this is the line. Wait, I don't go rook e6? I take, rook takes, and then I take. Okay. Knight f7 equal. Wow. Okay, this is all okay. He just gave the pawn away. Let's hope I didn't blunder into a drawn endgame. King f7 is a mistake. I should have played a5 immediately, but I really didn't want to allow this. I wouldn't know how to win with my king completely blocked in. But apparently his king isn't close enough, so let's see that. Yeah, his king isn't close enough. He should have taken the pawn, but it seems like everything is still fine for me. Yeah, king c6, draw. I didn't think b3 was good. Yeah, but actually, what does he do here? Yeah. And then just a3. King c6 is a draw because of rook a6. Whoa, what did I do? I did something. I did something to the board. Okay, so rook a6. My king has to go back. I was actually hoping he would play rook a6. Why isn't this winning? Wait, are you kidding me? This isn't winning? Ah, if I play b3, I block my rook from checking the white king away. That's the thing, he keeps threatening mate. Okay, so not b3. So let's move the rook first. And then... Wow. I have to keep my rook on a3 to threaten b3, but if my rook is on a3, I cannot play b3 because he keeps threatening mate. And we just go around and around and around, and my rook cannot check laterally. Okay. And now it's winning because of not what I did. but because of rook c3 check and b3, rook f3 is a mistake. So I didn't repeat. Yeah, and as soon as he went rook b6, it was losing. Yeah. Oh, I'm an idiot. b2 also works. On rook b1, I just check. Jesus. Rook f1 still wins, but okay. No, not a clean game. Definitely not a clean game, especially considering that I almost... I'm gonna try to fix the board, by the way. What did I do to it? It's a bit too much. I just found that there's an arrow that... Okay, I cannot adjust this now. Thank you for watching. Hope you got something from the game. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.